Hello, this is iRadio News. First, here are the headlines. Civil society organization Integrity South Sudan has called for the completion of the unfinished constructions of South Sudan Anti-Corruption Commission's headquarters in Juba. The Juba City Legislative Council has amended its bylaws after thorough deliberations to serve 2025 and improve revenue collections. The United States government has imposed sanctions on the head of Sudan's army and the de facto president, General Abdel Fattah el-Burhan, the Treasury Department said. These stories and more will all come to you in this news bulletin with me, Darlington Moses, and now the news in detail. Civil society organization Integrity South Sudan has called for the completion of the unfinished constructions of South Sudan Anti-Corruption Commission's headquarters in Juba. The projects, initially supported by the World Bank and undertaken by a local construction company, has stalled since 2012, hindering the Commission's ability to perform its duties. Last year, the Commission's leadership was kicked out of the temporary office by the landlord due to the accumulated unpaid rent. Officials of the Commission said the evictions heavily affected the operations as they are currently working from their homes. Meanwhile, Integrity South Sudan urges the government to allocate emergency fund to renovate and finish the building to secure an alternative space to ensure the continuity of its censored operations. The statement also calls on the government to prioritize the completion of the Commission's unfinished office building in Juba and ensure that all the necessary resources are allocated to ease the construction process. James Ater, the executive director of the South Sudan Anti-Corruption Commission, welcomes the statement while attributing the non-completion of its office building to 2013 and 2016 violence. Ater says since the two separated deadly conflicts erupted, the contractor fled the country and has not returned till today. According to him, the Commission has been pleading with the World Bank and the Ministry of Finance to engage with the constructor to come back to the country and resume the constructions, but all their calls went in vain. South Sudan Anti-Corruption Commission is a government entity tasked with a vital role of fighting corruptions and promote good governance in the country, especially among constitutional post holders. The Juba City Council has amended its bylaws after thorough deliberations to serve 2025 and improve revenue collections. The amended bylaws, comprising 14 chapters, is an institutional guide and a vital tool the City Councils use to control its duties. The amendment aimed to address the increasing criminal activities and negative practices within Juba and enhance governance, public order, and safety. The chairpersons of the Juba City Councils, Dina KG John, explained that the 2025 bylaws were necessitated by the rising criminal activities in the city. She highlighted key challenges including insufficient financial resources and a lack of adequate corporations as obstacles to effective governance. Head of Legislative Affairs, Egidio Osvaldo, highlighted the bylaws as regulatory guidelines for peaceful coexistence, focusing on behavior, activities of residents, and also community dynamics. The amendments aim to enforce accountability and promote a harmonious urban environment, including regulating traders and addressing gang groups. And now to the stories making headlines in the African region and beyond. Kenyan President William Ruto has encouraged the United Arab Emirates government to extend the standard gauge railway to connect the country with Uganda and South Sudan. The SGR, inaugurated in 2017, is part of China's New Belt and Road Initiative and aims to open East and Central Africa up to international trade and investment. However, the railway connecting the Kenyan port of Mombasa with landlocked neighbors ended in the Rift Valley 2019. 468 kilometers south of border with Uganda after Beijing withdrew support. Mr. Ruto then started discussions with the Arab Emirates to secure financing to complete the regional railway after China cut infrastructure funding. He said the meeting with the Arab Emirates delegations also agreed to conduct a feasibility study over the extensions of the SRG due to its capacity to foster regional integrations and promote trade. The chairperson of East African Community was in Abu Dhabi, the capital of the oil-rich Gulf Kingdom, where he held talks with the United Arab Emirates Investment Minister Mohammed Hassan Al-Suwaidi. Kenya and the United Arab Emirates signed a comprehensive economic partnership agreement on Tuesday aiming to boost trade volumes by removing barriers, simplifying customs processing and promoting investment. The United States government has imposed sanctions on the head of Sudan's army and de facto President General Abdel Fattah al-Burhan, the Treasury Department has said. He said he has been leading one of the two sides in the 21-month civil war that has killed tens of thousands, uprooted over 12 million, and pushed the country to the brink of famine. In a brief statement, the United States accused General Burhan of destabilizing Sudan and undermining the goal of a democratic transition. The announcement follows reports of the killing of civilians in the central city of West Medini in recent days. However, this was not mentioned in the statement. And finally, the office of Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu says a deal to release the hostages has been agreed. Netanyahu has delayed a cabinet vote to approve the Gaza ceasefire deal due to Thursday, accusing Hamas of seeking last-minute changes to the agreement. On Friday morning, his office said Netanyahu had been informed the negotiation team that agreement on the deal had been reached. He said ordered the political security cabinet to convene later on Friday, and the government will then convene to approve the deal. Netanyahu's office said families of the hostages have been informed. It added. This is iRadio News, and to end this bulletin, let's have the recaps on the top stories once again. Civil society organization Integrity South Sudan has called for the completion of the unfinished constructions of South Sudan Anti-Corruption Commission's headquarters in Juba. The Juba City Legislative Council has amended its bylaws after thorough deliberations to serve 2025 and improve revenue collections. The U.S. government has imposed sanctions on the head of Sudan's army and de facto President General Abdel Fattah al-Burhan, the Treasury Department has said. That's the end of iRadio Morning News. If there's a story or an event you'd like added to cover or report about, please send us a text message on +211 925 287 870. It's also